The forecast track has absolutely no good news for us. Take a look at this. This is the latest forecast track from the Hurricane Center.
So really everyone along the Carolina coast needs to start making preparations for this.
That's extremely troubling, quite honestly. Last few runs do this, bring the core of a major hurricane right over the Cape Fear region.
The potential for an upwards of 30 inches of rain.
Take the storm very seriously.
This is serious business. That wave is above our heads where we stand at several feet above sea level, and all of these are moving their way toward these houses that you see just to my right. It is an ominous looking sight to consider the fact that we are 15 hours or more away from a potential landfalling hurricane.
This is exactly why the town of Carolina Beach has enacted that 24-hour curfew, because there's absolutely no reason for folks to be on the beach. This is just too incredibly dangerous. This storm surge really starting to rear its ugly head here now. Thank God for these rocks that are in this area right now. This is why they've been put into place. But I just want to turn your attention to the seas. I mean, if we can pan out there, this is an incredible situation here. 10 to 15 foot seas. An hour ago I was standing on this walkway here as I made my way down into the storm surge, into that surf. It is completely gone. So the police have come by here just a minute ago and shut it down. We are at Carolina Beach Avenue and Sailfish. So you can see that storm surge that we've been talking about as we've been leading up to our storm coverage here. It has fallen victim from Hurricane Florence.
North Topsail Beach, let's take a look at some of the storm surge there hitting the homes in that Onslow County community. Look at it just pouring right in from the water. Eric is telling us earlier that some nearby communities near North Topsail have seen Jacksonville area wind gusts of upwards of 50 miles an hour.
All right, Gannon, you know, you keep talking about this eye wall that's coming through. I think I'm in the middle of it right now. It is crazy in downtown Wilmington right now, obviously blowing from this side. You know, by the times it looks like the 4th of July here. Transformers are blowing all over the downtown area of Wilmington right now. We've lost power here at the Hotel Ballast where we're staying. But, you know, we have joined you pretty much hour by hour since we came on air here this morning. And it has significantly got worse. You talk about these gusts going 80, 90, 100 miles an hour. At times when they blow through here, we're watching them literally move people. That is how strong these winds are coming.
Heavy wind, heavy rains. I feel pretty comfortable where we're standing now just because of the fact that there isn't a lot of stuff above us. Now, woo! There you go, you see that? Just take a look right here. These trees and this power line really starting to have an impact. I don't know if you can get that or not. And again, stay safe. Wind speeds here probably, I would guess, we're getting some gusts at 90 where I'm standing now. We're just behind the building. And again, conditions deteriorating relatively quickly. We'll just take a gander. I know a lot of people know this location behind here. That's the Carolina Beach Boardwalk, a very popular tourist destination. And you may or may not be able to see any of this. I don't know. You guys can tell me. With wind speeds in excess now, easily. Woo! Here we go.
Yeah, Colin, be careful out there, buddy.
Pretty bizarre, surreal experience to be outside in a storm like this. We'll move this way for me, bud.
Colin,
have you? A lamp right above your head. Take a look at this. So, just starting to see a little bit of the damage on, you know, less anchored positions. You know, safety first, so we're trying to make sure that we don't do anything too cavalier to bring you guys the story from out here.
Well, Colin, I know the Marriott is somewhat close to what the boardwalk. I know you were talking about the boardwalk a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And I know maybe you haven't had a chance to go check out the ocean at all, but were you able to see it from your room? Are you ocean side? Or?
Yeah, we can see it.
Ooh, oh gosh, Colin.
Yeah. We just lost our life.
That was crazy, wasn't it?
You're
saw a gust there probably.
You're not allowed to go back outside. You don't understand.
Mama Kim says I come inside, I come inside.
Okay.
I do what Kim says.
Exactly.
She trumps everything. Yeah, no problem. No, that was obviously, that's why you don't go outside during a hurricane. You get some strong you know, 90+ mile-per-hour winds coupled with the effect of the building beside us, and that made it difficult to walk. In fact, Luke stumbled to his knee. We lost the camera there for a second. Everybody's okay. But our pride is all that's hurt. We're indoors. I ain't got no problem with that.
We've got that south wind, but we've also got a strong current coming through here. So coupled, the two of them mixed together, I am having a hard time standing on my feet. Kind of looking around, though, want to give you a little bit of a damage report here in Carolina Beach. We're seeing some, you know, roof shingles down, screens ripped. The street lights here just really blowing in the wind. Nothing too significant right now. All of these businesses around here, they've got sandbags up, and for good reason. You can see Gulfstream over there. They've got sandbags piled up at their door. This is what they were preparing for. And like you said, John, this is high tide right now, and this water has absolutely nowhere to go. I mean, you think about it. It's just rushing through here from the Atlantic Ocean right here to the Intercoastal Waterway. If you're familiar with Carolina Beach, you can see it's just going from one body of water to the next. It's fascinating to see the charter boat marina here, normally, you know, beautiful, stocked with boats, and you cannot see where the water starts and where it ends. It's just completely flooded over right now.
We've got roofs, parts of roofs coming down, signs are coming down. I'm watching the shingles on these buildings come up. The headquarters of the Winnebago Fire Department. The headquarters has sustained so much structural damage in what we've had over the past 2 hours that the firefighters there have had to evacuate. They are now stationed at the Winnebago Elementary School. We're okay here at the Charlotte Fire Department. We are on generator. All of Charlotte that I've seen from this area I've been able to walk to is without power. But again, the change in the wind is really what's going to compromise these trees. So for the love of God, do not drive Brunswick County. We're hoping to experience some of the eye of the storm here to at least give us a little bit of a break. But I just checked the radar, and the eye is above us. So Brunswick, Charlotte, South Brunswick, it does not look like you are going to get any kind of a break from this. So get off the road. We're going to come in right now. I'm going to lose my balance if we keep getting this.
That's a nice tree, but it's laying down. It was standing right in front of the Schwartz Center before, but that's that huge tree that provided such shade for the students as they sat out there, read a book, and did whatever they could. Another one right out in front of the church at Market and Third. This is eerie, Fran, but I remember some of these same areas. Wow. Some of these same areas after Fran, when the steeple came down, that same area of downtown, and another tree down. This is in downtown Wilmington, and the areas around downtown seeing a lot of the same.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yep.
We're going to lose this walkway here behind me due to that storm surge that we've been telling you about, because it is pounding 20, 30-foot seas right now, coupled with that wind. I would imagine it's coming loose here. That's why I've come up a little bit, but I would say that's going to fall victim to Florence.
Well, you got to make sure that you're nowhere near that, Chelsea, because we don't, I mean, if that's going to take part of it, it needs to, you need to back off there. But it really is amazing to see even the surf behind you still churning and still coming up. I see it over your left side. They're still breaching a little bit on that, that little area behind you there.
It's breaching the dunes right now, and this dune here right in front of me, it's got to be probably about 6 foot high, and that water is coming up probably 3 or 4 feet. So that gives you an idea of how angry these seas are. This is a pretty good wide swath of beach, and it is completely inundated with water right now. I can't imagine what the north end looks like. Take a look behind me to my left. Unbelievable images here of the Curry Beach Pier. Damage in the middle, as you can see there, and we've got damage up here up front. This is the oldest pier in the Atlantic, built in 1923, completely washed away back in 1954 by Hurricane Hazel, and it is taking a lashing, taking a beating right now from the south winds that we're seeing here in Curry Beach. Man, it's unbelievable to see these waves.
We just got this information in from the Wilmington Police Department.
Yeah, they are now saying a mother and an infant died when the tree fell on their home. The father in the family was apparently the one that was rescued and taken to New Hanover Regional Medical Center with injuries.
Anytime a child's involved, human life certainly, but when it's involving a child, people push themselves to the limit, and that comes with an emotional toll as well.
It fell onto the house and brought a portion of the roof down as well, and so you kind of have a situation where the victims are not only pinned under a tree, but they're also pinned over parts of the roof itself.
Got some really intense video to show you right now, just from the last 30 minutes that Ben, who's now on behind the camera, came to you. I mean, we're seeing crazy quick flooding here in the Shallotte River. This is the patio of the Grill and Crab. We're just kind of walk you down this way and then go back inside and show you that bridge. But I mean, picnic table underwater in the matter of really minutes. I would say, oh, we're gonna go back underneath this cover, but this is by far the strongest wind and rain that we have seen. Definitely the wind. No doubt that this river, if this continues for even a few minutes longer, and we're getting really candid with you here, walking through tables under this restaurant, still not breached. We actually had to move our news car up to higher ground because this water is rising just so quickly. We can no longer really see that dock, see any of the seagrass that was all lining this area. Stay off the roads. Look at how quickly this flooded in a matter of about 10 minutes. We have feet of water. That could be you if you're in a car. Stay indoors if you're experiencing this, anything like this, in a home with high level water that's rising. Call 911. They do have crews that hopefully can come and get you. We're seeing a lot of people still out on the road now, curious to know what's going on, but this is an extremely dangerous situation, not just here in Shallotte, but we know all over in Brunswick County.
It's pretty incredible. These two cars have been stalled out since this morning, and we've actually seen drivers try to drive through here. A couple people made it, but there, was about 6 inches or a foot of water inside their car when they made it through. It is not safe to drive through this.
Look at this. I saw this video a little bit earlier, the water coming up and over the rocks, but look at this staircase is kind of out there by itself.
Well, Chelsea Donovan was standing right there just yesterday, and she and Colin Hackman both were reporting from Carolina Beach. Both have really been told you've got to leave, and so they have moved back farther inland, and that's why we saw Chelsea where we saw her.
You can see here people coming out with items left and right, looting the Family Dollar here on Greenfield Street. Can see inside just a complete mess. People taking duffel bags and trash bags, now noticing that we're here, running away from the camera. You can see people inside here, people with t-shirts over their heads, coming out with bags of items. You can see these people across the street in masks. This is an ongoing situation. Looks like the police are here now. People wearing Halloween masks, looting the Family Dollar here on Greenfield Street. Looks like people are coming out of the backside right now. All right, they're coming out of the backside of the store here. This is 13th and Greenfield. We're gonna stay with this situation. Items in hand, guys. Hey guys, you know you're looting, right? You know you're stealing. Sir, you know you're looting, correct? You know that you're looting and that's illegal? You can see people coming out right now with items left and right from the store.
There is a confirmed tornado. There is a confirmed tornado on the ground located near Silver Lake. If you are near Silver Lake, you need to be in your tornado safe place right now. There is a confirmed tornado
and it's really
near Silver Lake right now. If you are near Leland, you need to get in your safe place. I can't stress this enough.
This is a very dangerous tornado situation. We've got a tornado on the ground. Jesselyn,
they're telling us to go to our safe spot right now.
Yeah, we need to go.
We are going to need to go to our safe spot here in just a few moments.
They want us there now.
Yeah, we need it. Let's go in the hallway.
Let's go in the hallway.
Okay, are we still going to broadcast or as best we can?
So if you are in Wilmington, if you are in Belleville, if you are in Leland, if you are in Navassa, you're in this tornado warning right now. Our crew's moving to the back end. We are taking shelter.
Might be a little loud, yeah.
Since we are in this tornado warning, it's moving northwest at around 30 miles per hour. Guys, sorry about the noise. We're moving.
No. You guys need to get back here. We can't hear you. That brick. We can't hear you now.
Okay, so again, just to reiterate, okay, so tornado warning for central New Hanover County in southeastern North Carolina, east central Brunswick County in southeastern North Carolina until 2:15.
That area of Sanford Dam came down, and if you're watching the footage, I mean, it looks like Niagara Falls. And obviously the big question people want to know is, well, where is it all going? They did evacuate a few neighborhoods just as a precaution.
Some have made it, some have not, like this Saturn. We were here about 2 minutes after a lady was pulled out of this vehicle. She says that a man helped her out. She was driving and didn't realize where the edge of the road is. One of the many problems that you can have when you try to navigate flooded roadways. It's dangerous. There's no reason to be out. Authorities are urging people to stay off the road.
Kathy Auletti at her house near Murrayville. Her granddaughter was asleep in the bed. Kathy heard a loud noise. She ran into the bedroom and yelled for her granddaughter to move. Seconds later, that limb came through the roof and onto the bed.
It's just a surreal experience to see Interstate 40 look like this. Normally, on a Sunday afternoon, there would be dozens of people headed home from the beach, perhaps people running around their Sunday plans, but those plans have been changed by Hurricane Florence, and it looks like it's going to take quite some time before this water drains and quite some time to figure out the integrity of some of these roads. Hey guys, meteorologist Colin Hackman here, standing in the middle of Highway 210 in Pender County. Yes, this is the middle of Highway 210 at the Black River in Pender County, a major east-west that runs across the county. But right now it looks more like a river runs through it with culverts and large rapids, boards, and all sorts of treachery, making driving impossible.
Never did I think this stuff would rise at 1 foot an hour. We went to bed, it was after 9 o'clock at night, I had no water in the house. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up to hear all the furniture on the first floor flipping over as it started floating all over the place.
This water was much higher a few days ago, and residents say they've been watching it slowly go back. And now I'm standing in somebody's yard, and you can see the water is up to my waist, but back there, it's where it's even deeper.
I wanted to show you some video now. We rode along with the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office in a high water vehicle as they did their work in town. As the endless rain fell, it built up in those several lakes in town there, but eventually the water was too much for the infrastructure, bursting through roads, which crumbled away, exposing water pipes, lines in the earth below.
I'm inside a home here at the end of Stony Creek Plantation subdivision where water over the weekend was up to the second story, well above my head. It's gone down now, but you can see what it looks like in here. Just furniture toppled, tossed, and saturated by these floodwaters after Hurricane Florence ravaged through this area. You can even see the floor is buckling in so many places after sitting with standing water for days. Now, this is clearly a devastating scene for anyone who sees it, but for the homeowner who lives here, this was just heartbreaking.
My furniture is all gone, my clothes are all gone, everything is gone. Everything is, I said my husband's ashes are in there somewhere. I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are. All my memories are gone. All my memories. My husband passed away 1 year ago from the day of the hurricane. And I feel like my life is gone. One of my neighbors called me. He's crying because his truck, his daughter's car is here. They're both gone. The whole bottom of his house is gone, and he doesn't have flood insurance. What do we do? What do people like us do?
With everything seemingly destroyed here in the home, it will take some time before things get back to normal. For Zelenka, they may never be the same.
As you can see behind me, this part of Highway 53 is completely covered with water. Where you can see that cone back there, that used to be on dry ground.
The only vehicles that we've really been able to see get through have been some military vehicles and some large utility vehicles. Earlier today, they were even bringing people over to this side with small boats. Now, these evacuees we met with a little bit earlier before they were put on buses and taken further inland. We spoke to some who told us that this is some of the scariest things they've ever seen.
This is probably about the worst thing that I ever been through. I never seen the water get this high, ever. I'm just scared. I'm nervous. Most of my family is kind of, you know, here and some there, and we're just trying to make it to dry land.
In some areas, the flood water is receding tonight, and the cleanup is beginning. Residents in one neighborhood are just now getting back to their homes after Hurricane Florence caused the massive flooding. Raycom's Rob Krieger was with one woman in Leland when she got her first look at the damage.
Over the weekend, this house here at the end of the Stony Creek plantation was filled with water. In fact, flood water was above my head here on the first floor, and now the homeowner here has gotten her first look inside, and it's just devastating what she's found.
Vicky Zelinka has lived here for 15 years, but in just one night, 15 years of happiness washed away.
I've lost my life. All my memories, everything is gone. Dear God, please help me. These pictures can never be replaced. Albums, pictures, my grandchildren.
Walking through her sodden home, the sights of appliances toppled and furniture upended is tough to swallow. But seeing her memories waterlogged, destroyed, is just heartbreaking.
Here's a nice birthday card from my granddaughter that was yesterday. Destroyed. All my memories are gone. All my memories. My husband passed away 1 year ago from the day of the hurricane. And I feel like my life is gone.
Zelinka moved here in 2005 from Pennsylvania. She says a surveyor rated her home in the 100-year floodplain.
Here I come down here thinking sunshine, happiness, and this happens. I realize this was extreme circumstances, but not to this extent. Not to wipe out almost the entire community.
On Monday, more than 24 homes were still underwater. The only way in by boat or canoe. But now that the water is receding, the real nightmare begins.
One of my neighbors called me. He's crying because his truck, his daughter's car is here. They're both gone. The whole bottom of his house is gone, and he doesn't have flood insurance. What do we do? What do people like us do?
Searching through her home, she just wanted to find one memory of her late husband, anything to hold on to. But the unforgiving floodwater makes that prospect seem impossible.
My husband's photographs, I have his death certificates. They're gone. I can't even find his death certificates. His ashes are in there somewhere. I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are.
While it seemed all hope was gone, a handful of contractors helping with mitigation at Zelinka's home were determined to help. Eyes welling with tears, they searched through the muck and the mire and found the urn. Just one piece, one memory, a little hope for a woman broken by the storm.
Thank you, thank you. Oh my God, yes. That's my daughter's. Thank you so much.
This is what's left of Zelinka's memories. Soaked, soggy pictures of her family and late husband. Just a grim reminder of the wrath of Florence. In Leland, for WECT, I'm Rob Krieger.